Welcome to Taiwanica. If you're looking for a podcast that is fun, deep, and insightful about the cultures in Taiwan and the USA, you're in the right place. This power couple tells real-life stories and cold hard facts while bringing you chill vibes, funny jokes, and special points of view that you can't find anywhere else. Now, your hosts, Anita and Eric.
This is episode 30, talking about social media and human communication. Is it really improved? Welcome to Taiwanica. What's up, guys? Today's episode is to describe how in Taiwan and in the USA, how social media gives benefits and also convenience. But then there's some other things too that maybe some people haven't realized that it's taken away. My name is Eric. I am one of the hosts here on Taiwanica. I'm also a teacher on Amazing Talker. We are pleased to be here for you to be able to listen to us again today. And joining me is the wonderful, amazing talker, Anita.
Hello, everybody. I am Anita. I am another host on Taiwanica, and I'm also a teacher on Amazing Talker. And I also provide private life coaching sections. So if you're interested in having contact with me, there will be links down below on this episode.
Oh, wow. Even life coaching.
Yeah.
I do that too.
Yeah. We both do. So that's that.
All right. So what is the main topic of today, Anita?
We're going to talk about social media and has it improved humans' communication.
That's right. So,
what's your thought on this?
My thoughts?
Yeah.
Well, I have a variety of thoughts on this.
All
but what I would like to do is first describe my point of view on it and then describe the USA as a general of what happens here for most people, especially in our generation.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And then afterwards, we'll see what happens.
I don't know.
Just going with the flow.
Oh my God.
All right. So, first of all, for me personally, social media has its ups and downs. It's when it first came out, I was in high school, and I didn't really understand what was going on. All of a sudden, my friends had their pictures posted up online. I was like, "Oh, what is going on? Why? What? That's cool. I guess they have a square with their face in it."
That's great. Oh my God.
And do you remember that before Facebook, there was another one called MySpace?
I don't know that.
Oh, well, that was where it was technically all starting. MySpace.
Is that Microsoft?
No, it's just some random guy named Tim.
Really?
Yeah.
I make this up?
No, it's real. It's a real thing. I think it was Tim or Tom. But anyways, Tom, I think it was Tom. And he created MySpace. And everyone was like trying to become friends online on this platform where you could talk with each other.
Oh, interesting.
And then because of Facebook, it died out.
Totally died.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm not really sure what happened to MySpace, but that was the beginning. And when that happened, it was exciting because it was a whole new phenomenon where you could connect with people instantly. Yeah. Before then there was like instant message, and that was cool and everything, but you couldn't see people's pictures. You couldn't see like their interests or any of those extra detailed information. It was just kind of like, hey, what's up? Nothing new. It's just kind of like text messaging, but on a computer. Yes. But text messaging wasn't even a thing yet either. It was just, we'd still pass letters in classes.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Stuff like that. And so when this MySpace, Facebook, all these kind of online ways of communicating started to become a thing, it was exciting because we were getting this new way of conveniently communicating with our friends. But as time went on, it got more and more advanced and more detailed, and now it's kind of taken on this whole entire level of control, and basically if you don't have one, you're missing out. Start having one. So it was an interesting kind of impact that everyone had at the beginning of the 2000s. And so it started to grow more and more, and the old ways, like passing notes or telling each other's secrets in the hallway, or just
What do you want for lunch?
stuff like that. It all kind of faded away, and we kind of left it all left in our minds so that we could say it online later.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, definitely.
So
like that.
Exactly. So then in the USA, it definitely took effect really quick, at least for my generation, because I was, in high school. It was the new fad. We knew it was going to kind of become more and more normal to do this sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, they started introducing more things like liking things and stuff like that.
Like the thumb up thing.
And then people got even more addicted to it. And like, I wanted my photo to have at least 10 likes in one day, something like that. If I didn't, then, we'll talk more about that in a minute. But it's just like that cause of making sure that you have enough shares on your stuff, or the number of likes you have, or if you're a business, how many people purchase your items thanks to advertising them on Facebook, or when you look at Twitter, how much your stuff was retweeted, or in Instagram now, where everything has been something liked again with those hearts. It's just become this sort of thing that everyone in the USA, they live off of it. It went from being this cool thing to a necessity. If you don't do these sort of social media, then maybe you're not technically fulfilling your life as well as you could, because you're not connecting with as many people as possible. And I think this is the problem that I want to introduce today, is that although there is a lot of good and convenience that comes out of social media, in my opinion, it always gives you this sense of not being enough. There's this lack, and you're always comparing. And be more specific with the comparing. Like, if you have a really good picture of yourself on Instagram and it's got like 10 likes, and then your friend who has like, you're in the same class, and you know that person's more popular or something like that, and you'll see that they have like 45 likes, and you're like, oh my God, I wish I was him. It's just, but it's based on these 35 likes of hearts online, and you're like, this means the world to me. And it's just really shocking how social media has that effect, because you think about who are those other 35 links, who are those 35 other people that like them more than you, and you start comparing, you go down this vortex, it's just this, and so it's just horrible, right? And so it's just this sort of thing that for me, the effect of social media has definitely been bigger than the benefits of it. And so getting to the convenience, right? So I have some examples. Before, when you wanted to maybe make a friend, it was really hard. You have to...
Not easy.
It's not easy, right? Not hard. It's just not easy, right? So maybe you're in school, okay, and you want to eat lunch, but you don't have any friends to eat lunch with.
Okay.
So you see the other kid that's sitting at a table by himself or herself, and you say, "Hey, can I sit next to you?" And that's where it all begins, right? And so, but that initiation was difficult.
Yes.
Right. Nowadays, though, when you want to make any friends, you can, it's so easy. You can do it online, like with a chat room, or with video games. Like, if you play the same video game with a group of people, and you do it a lot and a lot and a lot, sooner or later you can technically become friends. But they're not your, what we call RL friends. In other words, real life friends. They're your...
Is it a term now?
Yes.
RL?
Yeah. In RL. So like...
In RL.
Yeah, in RL, in real life.
Oh my God. Alright.
Teach you some acronyms.
Thank you so
video
much.
game acronyms. And
It's a video.
Yeah.
Come on, video game.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So this idea is, it's it's kind of lame to have a lot of real life friends when you can have so many
Yeah,
video
right.
game friends, you
Yeah.
know. So this is an idea that also came from this, and that it's all expanded from the social media, right? So it makes me question, are these connections like these under 35 likes on Instagram, or these video game friends, or you know, the people that that like your profile picture or on Facebook, are they really your friends? You know, because it says on those platforms, let's be friends,
yes.
right? But you know, then there's that question I think a lot of people ask, is that if we're not friends on Facebook, then we're not technically
friends.
friends. And it just makes me, you know, a little shocked,
Yeah.
because we have to classify our friendship based on these social medias.
Yeah.
It's just it's
It doesn't make sense for old people
right.
like us.
Well, yes, exactly.
Right.
And that's why I think we're more suitable for the Facebook group than the Instagram group, because these days now, the younger generation have all like migrated to Instagram
Or what is that thing? TikTok?
or TikTok.
Yeah.
And so and that's because those kind of ones, you don't actually need to ask to be friends with those
Friends.
people.
You
You
can just
follow,
follow them,
right?
yes.
And so that's another concept that I really want to talk about, and that is there's a lot of people before you know, civilization, there were tribes and there were groups,
Yes.
right? And so in each of these groups, no matter what, there's a leader. And so when you had these leaders be connected to your group, you would listen to them, you would find them interesting. Whatever they said, you would kind of have an influence from it, right?
Yeah.
And that kind of connects with today with what we call influencers,
Yeah.
right?
The same concept.
Right, exactly. So in other words, these influencers are basically tribe leaders, if you think about it.
Wow.
And what does that mean? That means that they are affecting the way that you think if you are constantly looking at their information. For example, if I watch a YouTube channel about this one guy, and I keep on watching his videos about the things that he does, the things that he says, the things that he thinks, I will slowly start thinking and being and like him. And I think this can be used as a very powerful tool if you use it right, but most people don't realize this, and I hope that I'm conveying this clearly. And that is, before, when there were tribes, people would understand this influence because they could communicate with that person.
Yeah.
You know, they could connect with that
It's
person.
I know. In RL.
Yes, it was in
the
RL.
RL.
Exactly.
Am I
Good
using
job.
it
Using it
correct?
perfectly. Great job. And so they had that connection instantly, right?
Yes.
But the problem with online or YouTube or any of these influencers is that it's one way. And what I mean by one way is the person who is listening to the information and absorbing whatever that person is saying is creating a connection to that person, but conversely, the person who is creating that information doesn't connect to the followers as much. So, which means that there is a mental like block where the person who's watching the information believes, their minds really believe that they are creating a relationship with this person, but on the other hand, the other person doesn't feel this. And so if that influencer were to meet one of their fans, their fan would feel so much more deeply connected to them than the other way around. And I just find that to be,
Fascinating.
it's very fascinating, but also a little bit scary, because you think about, in USA, we have a huge problem with people being lonely, and actually making friends these days has become extremely difficult. And that's mainly because people believe like their fulfillment of creating friends is already actually being satisfied, but they don't realize that why it's happening, right? So in their brains, they don't feel lonely because they're constantly seeing people on their phones. But in reality, when they look around their house or their social circle, they're empty. And so it's causing this like very strange phenomenon where the brain and body are a little bit disconnected. Yeah. And so it's for me that's a really interesting point of view. And so I think it's just really important to realize that if you want to still develop true friendships, true relationships in the USA or wherever you are, it's just a very important thing to constantly remind yourself that social media is not the only way to connect with others.
You know, there are a few points that you mentioned. It's actually, for me, you know, I've been thinking about why people are relying on social media so much these days. It's not because they are trendy or it's not because they are cool. It's all because we are fundamentally looking for the sense of belonging. You know, like what you say, it's so easy to connect what they think they are really connect with either a group or an influencer or, you know, some kind of group. Did I say group? And yeah, just, you know, I cannot emphasize it more. Just like giving them a sense of belonging that they belong to some parties, they belong to this group, you know. And I think in the beginning, I'm pretty sure those people who invented social media like Facebook, Instagram, those kind of things, they have the good intention is to connect with people, right?
Sure.
Remember when it first started, the Facebook, we can find like a long lost friend or like
That's
friend from, you know, my kindergarten and things like that. It's all bring sort of joy to people.
Sure.
And then something happened. I remember like when it started happening, like Facebook, and everybody started using it, and it feels like just a bomb, you know, like someone dropped the bomb, like Facebook bomb, boom, and then all of a sudden just I don't know what happened, you know, and it just become like people relying on it too much.
Yes.
Before using it as a tool, but after that we find out it's very addicting. It's not just I can find long lost friend, I can meet friends, you know, like those kind of like networking effect, whatever you wanted to call it, give us like it's so easy for me to make friends, you know. And the higher the number that I have on my Facebook, doesn't matter it's likes or friends or your followers on Instagram or something like that, makes us feel good.
Right.
Of course, right? Everybody likes to have something good and to have some feedback. Like, oh, people cared about me, care about what I wear today, care about my makeup, care about my bag. You know, so that's, of course, people will feel addicted to it, this kind of feeling. Because, again, sense of belonging. I have my followers. I'm building this community, you know. And, again, it's everything at two sides. So if you ask me the question, is social media make human communication better? The answer is yes and no. Depends on how you use it.
Depends on how you use it.
Yeah, and I think that's very crucial. It's if you use social media as a tool to meet friends, and that's good. But if you indulge yourself to, you know, spend
go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 hours just scrolling.
You find someone who looks maybe attractive and you go through their whole entire profile. You never met this person your entire life, but you're like, now I know I know their interests. I know that they seen this movie on this certain day.
You know,
oh my gosh, I know so much about them now.
Yeah.
But if they ever meet you in public, you'll be like, oh, I know everything about you. And they look at you and are like,
what?
Who are you? You know, it's just such a weird sensation, right? You know, that you kind of like, you're supposed to like go on dates with these people or like actually introduce yourself to these people, but you don't need to do that anymore. You can literally know everything about someone before you even meet them.
You know, that's really interesting. If you look at this, actually it involves like human behaviors behind this, right?
Okay.
Before you say when we, like you have the example, like you're at school and then you are alone and it's lunchtime, you saw a person feels like could be a friend of yours, and then you go up there and, you know, introduce yourself and see, can I join you, sort of thing. It's like really risky because you probably get no, right? The other person will say
rejection.
no. Yeah, I'd rather be by myself, things like this. You know, and for me, it's like that's the beauty of building a relationship, because you have to go through like awkward phase. It's like, is he going to like me? Is she going to want me to be her friend or something like that? And once you get through that, that's when you start to build like true connection and friendship, right? That's the beauty. I sound so old, but I sound like my mom,
That's the beauty of life.
Yeah, son, you just have to go through the hard part.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, for me, because based on my personal experience, that's how those friends are still staying in my life. Is I go through this, maybe you have same interest, and then we establish the first thing. Hey, do you like coffee? Maybe we can go for a coffee sometimes.
I like coffee, you like coffee, we
Let's
can do
be
something
friends.
coffee.
So that's how you start to build true friendships.
Yeah, sure.
And
by, sharing an interest.
yeah, and through like social media, you only take the good parts. You don't have to risk anything.
Right.
All you have to do is just like this person, and they give you like this kind
All the
of
good
illusion. Like, oh, he's my friend. She's my friend. I follow him. He likes my post. We are friends. So we don't really go through deeper
Trust.
Yes. So yes and no. Through social media you can meet someone or some friends or some influencer, whatever you wanted to call it, from so like far away. Like I'm in Taiwan, I can meet someone from Japan or Spain, even North Korea. I don't know.
Never know. I don't know. I don't know if they have Facebook, but the point is, it is possible.
It is possible to bring the distance closer, but also set up the wall between you and me.
So technically, we are, bringing, the actual physical distance to be closer, but maybe on a spiritual or, deeper mental level, we're actually creating more distance.
I think so.
Wow. So in order to have one closer, the other one expands. All right, we're not going to get too deep.
We're talking about friendship.
I don't know, friendship?
We're talking about friendship and social media.
Yes, okay.
So that's a really interesting beginning.
So what do you think are some other things that we want to talk about, like solutions? Would you like to talk about some solutions?
I think it's never just as easy as just to find a solution for any kind of issue. We have to find the root first. So let me ask you a question. What do you think people are in USA use social media for, or why are they using it so much?
People in the USA?
Yeah.
I think mainly the people use social media as kind of like a shortcut. They use it as a way to help us, get to the answers faster, right? So,
I see.
Information, stories,
Everything.
all these kind of things. Before we would, make a lot of effort to do that, like traveling to get to a certain place, maybe writing a letter to connect with somebody far away, or, like there were pen pals. Do you know pen pals?
I know.
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Probably from my mom's generation.
Oh, really? we had pen pals in the USA.
Still?
Oh,
Right
it was
now?
like a class project sort of
I
thing.
see.
Yeah. And then, actually using a physical phone and dialing
wow.
it, and calling someone, and you actually had an international fee for calling someone in another country.
Oh my God.
So people would prank call to Russia and be like, "Oh, you have a $40 bill because you called Russia just to say knock knock, who's there?" Prank calling, good times.
That's great.
But yeah, no, that stuff all disappeared, But that's just some other ways, that people that in the USA, primarily what we use social media for now isn't for any of that. It's more for taking advantage and entertainment. Taking advantage of the convenience, taking advantage of learning about someone quickly. Maybe you're gonna have like an interview or meet someone new.
Yeah.
You can just easily look up their information. And then know everything about them, and then meet them and be like, "Hey, I know everything about you." And they're like, "Oh, I'm so impressed. How do you know that?"
I'm so important.
Yeah, I'm so important. I feel valuable. Something like this. Or, like you just said, convenience for you. So if I want to basically do anything, message a friend about a project, or message a friend about the date that we planned, I can do it literally at any given time so quickly that even on my wrist right now, I have an Apple Watch and I would know immediately what they're thinking. You know, so it's I think that's one of the main ways Americans use it today. What about in Taiwan?
I think in Taiwan is, just cool. Like everybody has to use Instagram in order to know something. It's really interesting. Like I have an acquaintance. We met each other like randomly, like from time to time. And there was one time I met him. And I asked him, "Oh, I didn't know you are." He was telling me something, like something happened in his life. He got married or something. I don't quite remember. But anyways, I was like, "Oh, really? Oh, no. His wife at that time was pregnant."
Oh.
Yeah, and I was asking, "Oh, how are you? How is your wife?" And then he was like, "You didn't know?" I was like,
What?
What? No, what? He's like, You didn't follow me on Instagram? I was like, I'm here in front of you.
Asking you right now.
Yeah, and it was like, I do follow you on Instagram, but I don't use that much to catch up what happened
With
to
everyone
my
his
friends.
lives. Excuse me. Sorry. I
Yeah,
have
and
a
you
life.
just like, yeah, my wife is like 5 months pregnant now, and then you didn't know I posted on Instagram. I was like,
Wow.
okay, good for you, but I just,
Yeah, that's a really good way to burn a bridge right there.
I think they don't have the awareness they are burning a bridge because they think, just what we mentioned about the first, part.
Yes.
It's like, I have my community. If you're my true friends, you should know the way I'm sharing my news.
Through social media.
Right? For them, it's like the most direct way. Like you say, it's instant connect with no matter how many friends are you on your Instagram account.
If they know about your life, then that means they truly care.
Yeah, right? And
Wow.
for me, it's like, no, I use Instagram or social media to share something happened to me,
Yeah.
yes. But the true important things that happened to my life, I share with my friend first.
Yeah.
I send message to her, hey, I tried pumpkin spice latte the other day, but I don't really like it. Things like this.
So it's like for them, it's about everything, and you need to like read it like a newspaper. Basically, it's if you don't read their feed, then you're not keeping up with it. Basically, you're not, keeping up with the times.
Yeah, I was like, why don't you care about me? You don't follow me on Instagram.
It's amazing. It's amazing how that is. But I mean, it makes
Right.
sense. Everyone wants to be their own tribe leader.
Yeah, right. That makes sense, right? Yeah. So, in Taiwan, people are using it for basically everything. Oh, look at it! I got a job promotion. I got
Yeah.
married recently. This
You
is my
even
new
use
bag.
you even use it for work, right? Like and
Oh my God.
there's Line in
So many different
Taiwan.
kinds of
And
things.
like you have groups online,
Yeah.
and like we're even in a group with your family online, and that's a way for us to stay connected with your family is through
Yeah.
that group. But people do it for work. I remember when I worked in Taiwan, I needed to have like 3 or 4 different groups. One
Yeah.
group
I know.
in Line would be everyone, including the boss, and
Yeah,
then
like the group
yeah,
chat.
exactly, the group chat, and then there would be another group chat with everyone in the group. Except the boss, and so we could
Yes, talk
talk
something.
crap about the boss in that group. And sometimes people would accidentally put the message in the wrong group and then delete it immediately.
I
Yeah,
know.
you know that feeling.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just such a butt. It's like, oh, hi,
Hi, bud.
hi.
Oh, I'm sorry.
sorry.
No. I'm
Sorry.
sorry, what?
What's your name? Yeah. So.
I just wanted to say I've never been this, follow trend, that kind of person. For me, I don't know. I just, for some reason, I don't think it's
You're a
very
rebel.
I'm not. I just don't find it interesting. Just to hear, like, when Facebook started, everybody's like, you should have a Facebook account. I was like, should I? And I remember clearly, as one of my friends from high school helped me set up everything on my Facebook
Really?
page because they think you should have it. So I've never, really understand all those functions on Facebook or these specialties that you can use on Instagram sort of things. I'm not really follow the trend. So excuse me if I don't, I say something offensive to other people who likes to use Instagram or social media. Like I said, the story that I share, I'm looking for true human
Connection.
connections. Yes. And back to the topic, why people are using is, easy, fast, and more give us a sense like if I have more followers, more likes, I'm so popular, or people cared about me. If I share my, I feel down recently and this thing happens to me in my life, and people say something like pep talk to you, that makes you feel good. And again, each thing has good side and bad side. And, in Taiwan, the good side is, I've noticed this is really good. Before, you have to be like someone famous or like celebrities, actresses, or singers to be famous, to be, get the attention. But thanks to those social medias, there are a lot of people, like, I feel like it gives everybody an equal right to shine. Like, if you have specialty, go have account, give,
show it off,
and people will appreciate you.
And if you have achievements, and then if you gain praise, then you'll gain glory, right? Glory of like being as famous as other famous people just because of that. I mean, like Justin Bieber was that. He put his videos on YouTube, and then because of him putting that on YouTube, he got his opportunity to shine.
Yeah. So, it's a really good, right?
It is it is a great opportunity for people to, if you really want to stand out.
Yeah.
It's never been easier because before you would have to do so many steps in order to get there. Get an agent.
Remember Joey Tribbiani?
Poor Joey Tribbiani. Okay, but that's very.
We're just talking about something really old.
Yes, Friends.
the TV show.
Great. But yes, so I completely agree with you. Is that
Right?
now that's another thing about social media is convenience. But is it better for human communication?
Depends on how you use it. Again, there is no easy answer to this.
So what are some other cons that you can think of for this social media?
All right. Except for people can have their equal rights to shine, to show the world what they got. The other thing is, I found it actually is very informative. Like
Informative?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Affirmative.
Informative. There are lots of people, they are eating foods. So they have like tons of information about which food you should eat.
Oh, yeah.
And every restaurants now have an Instagram account.
And you can see all the pictures.
Yes, like new season's coming, like fall. We have this special menu and things.
Ooh,
We're like, oh my god,
yummy.
And I think that's a good thing that you can use it for very clear, because we have pictures, right? The Instagram
shiny
pictures and videos, and those are informations, and they will
Sure.
give you like menu there, and like people, like customers' feedback or the price of what.
Lots of details.
Every details you
details.
need to know before you decide which
Restaurant
to go to. And not just for restaurant, basically for everything. Oh, is this hair salon good? Or, is this new brand of clothing good enough, or something like that? Everything.
So you would
can
say
find
this
it.
is a very good improvement on human communication.
I think so.
Because we're able to rate, we're able to share opinions, we're also able to give positives and negatives on a specific location. Definitely, I think that's a very good point.
Right.
Very good point. Yeah, this way of analyzing general information that everyone is curious about definitely helps us get more specific details on what exactly we're looking for.
Yeah, and it's very fair, because before it's like, the customer, not the customer, the restaurant tell you one thing, and you don't know if it's true or not.
Right. And then you go, and then sometimes it's like it, and
sometimes
sometimes it's not.
No.
At all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And
Right.
it's very fascinating how you can now tell the difference between a good place and a bad place.
Thanks to those.
Yeah, pictures, reviews,
Yeah.
I mean, we ourselves are pretty big on reviewing places that we go to.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one of the benefits. And the other one is like, again, not just building, like, for example, I'm the influencer, or I'm follow certain influencer, this kind of community. Also, they have the function, I think it's really brilliant, called hashtag.
Oh, hashtag.
That I don't know who invented it, but it was
Good
so
job.
brilliant. It's a brilliant idea. Like, you hashtag one thing, for example, I don't know, you hashtag mushrooms.
Okay, mushrooms. Gotcha.
And then you go type in the search column, you type in mushroom, and everything
That has the hashtag mushroom
will
will
show
pop
up.
up. Mm-hmm.
That's another way to build community and just expand, expand. I think it's just so crazy, yet brilliant.
I think it's great.
Right?
Fantastic. Yeah, no, it's very true. Hashtag awesome.
Right? And there's awesome stuff will pop out.
Like you. You'll pop. You'll be the
thank
first
you.
one.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Yes.
So those are positives. Well, let's dive in. Just for like wrapping this episode up, let's dive into the dark side. Yes, where Darth Vader lives. Hashtag
Darth Vader.
you are my father. Question mark.
I am your father.
Oh,
I am your father.
I'm Yoda.
Wait, what?
Yoda am I. Okay.
All right, so like I said, this is very easy because everything, like I already mentioned, everything has a good side and bad side. So the bad side we mentioned earlier. The first one is everybody has equal right to shine. So the bad side
Shiny.
So the bad side is too much temptation. Like,
Oh yes.
I got
Too
famous.
much shiny.
Too much shiny. Yeah, like I got famous one day and I only got one post only got 356 likes, but the other person got like 700 likes.
Oh damn. Envy.
What did I do wrong?
Jealousy.
I need to get more likes, you know,
Yes.
temptation. And not just that, also like there are a lot of influencer. I don't know where those people from, but they're just so good at promoting themselves or promoting the things they use. You know, like shiny, whatever, clothes. You want to say shiny?
Shiny is great.
People like shiny. Anyway, so like, clothes. Oh my God. If I have that piece of clothes, I will look as good as Beyonce.
Oh, yeah.
Things like this. So it's very easy for us to, you know, get sucked into this vortex, like what you said. Just,
yes.
I gotta get more fancy stuff. I gotta get more trendy things. I have to more. So that's definitely the very first
Negative.
bad
Yeah.
influence.
Sure.
And the second one we say informative.
Informative. Yeah.
Yeah. The best side is there are a lot of fake news, misinformation
Sure.
out there. You know, we all know, like, and they will sometimes they will send you a private message, like, you know, we are looking for this, our brand promoter, you know, if you could give me some of your information and I can make you shine, things like this,
Yes.
you know, sort of things. So, that's definitely the bad side.
Definitely. And people get scammed by that stuff all the time.
Seriously.
All the old grandmas and grandpas, you know.
I'm telling you, it's not just grandpa or grandma. Sometimes it's the young girls. The same, like some, you know, they will use the things that girl wants. What do they want? They want to be
Right.
famous,
Yeah.
or you know.
Kind of like hanging something shiny in front of their
Yeah.
face,
Shiny.
only to eat them.
Oh my God.
Just like that fish, the angler fish.
Yeah. Anglerfish.
Yeah, you know.
I know. I'm calling you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's definitely the bad side. And we mentioned about building communities and
Yeah.
you know, things like that. And again, sense of belonging, we like to belong in some certain group, but if another group has different ideas of my group, and I must kill them because they are threatening our existence.
And this
right?
is the main reason why things in like politics or
Yes.
in countries or even just like neighborhoods will have humongous fights against each other
Seriously,
because
yeah.
some friends are in certain groups and then other people are in the other group.
different group.
And if they have one different idea, it can
Yeah.
become a war just
Yeah.
because of that. It's incredible.
It's just like every time we saw a movie, like, you know, a couple break up and their friends don't want them to break up just because they don't want to choose side.
Right,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
You know, it's fine. You guys will be fine. Just stay together. But the true reason is they don't want to choose.
They just don't want to change.
Yeah.
They don't want to have to work hard.
Yeah. And that way we say that, you know, we build this conflict to the groups that has different ideas or different whatever thinking than us. So they create this new group of people, which is trolls.
Trolls.
They were just
The worst. The people who purposely say annoying, bad things just to make you angry.
yeah.
And it
you know.
makes them happy.
Just I don't know. They want to get attention. I don't know. Maybe.
You don't need to think
I
about
don't
the
need-
psychology
yeah,
of
I
a
don't-
troll. Okay?
That's me. I like to think about psychology for everything. But, that's definitely a bad influence. We have this troll group of people saying bad things to others and, bully.
Yeah,
That's
bully,
what
online bullying, which is a
definitely
huge problem
thing.
with teenagers.
Yeah, that's just so sad.
It's sad because they have a mask and that's their screen. Because
Yeah.
if they were in real life, they would probably not probably more than likely they would not say those kind of things. But because they're behind a keyboard,
Yeah.
anything is possible, and the power behind those words are just so immense that it can just cause so many traumatic
Yeah, of course.
experiences for people.
And like we say, we didn't really engage to the true friendship or whatever relationship we wanted to build. So when you just sitting behind the screen typing on your keyboard, you don't feel sense of compassion because you don't really ever build a true relationship with anybody.
Right.
So you don't have the sense how much you're gonna hurt someone because you never had this true connection. So it's definitely a huge problem here. Like you said, the teenagers, not just teenagers, a lot of people, like everybody, right?
Right.
So that's
And
my
so,
conclusion.
Yeah. So, I mean, for me personally, I've had a solution for this kind of mindset, and that is primarily, and I learned this from a lot of other great people, and that is if you want to really enjoy life, you got to separate yourself from these kind of influences. So, me personally, I've deleted most of my apps. And so, or I categorize them in those little boxes,
on your phone.
on your phone. Yeah. So then you can't see them very well.
Yeah.
So I call it out of sight, out of mind.
That's definitely a useful tool.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if you can't see it and that means you're not, you don't have that addiction to press it, to confirm,
Yeah.
like your email, right? If you have email as one of your top 4 icons,
definitely
you're
gonna
definitely going to click. Whenever you get an extra second, you're going to check
Yeah.
that email because you never know what's going to be in there.
Yeah.
So I definitely still have a problem with that, but when it comes to any social media, I put it on the 3rd page in
you
a
never scroll
box.
to
You
that
never go to
page.
that page, and it's like if I only need it,
Yeah.
then I will open it.
Yeah.
So that definitely worked for me. And then I have my sister. For her kids have like restricted
The
social
screen
media.
time?
Or just screen time, sure, but that's like a house rule. And what screen time basically means is you get like 30 minutes on a tablet or a computer or a phone. And that seems to work for them. But no, what I mean is if you restrict yourself, like for example, putting your phone in a jar when you want to like eat dinner with each
Really?
other,
Yes.
so you can't
I
look
like
at your
that
phone at all.
idea.
You just focus on each other the
Yeah.
entire time. Or what was the other one I was going to say? Just basically when you have if you have kids or if you have any other family members who are addicted to it, you restrict their access to the phone. So in the phone they basically will only be allowed to use certain apps, and if they want to access the other ones, you have to have a password. Like this.
Wow.
So
Alright.
this is another method that people ask their friends or like their spouses or their family
To
to
set it up for
help
them.
set it up for them. Because
great.
I mean, it works for some people because it helps them restrict their addiction. So these are some solutions that a lot of people have used to found successful. Me personally, it's definitely just putting them in boxes and putting them somewhere away.
Right.
Because like I said, if you can't see it, then you won't want to do it.
Trust me, I've been there. Sometimes Eric will be like, "Can you go to my phone and order Uber Eats?" I was like, "Where's your Uber Eats?" It's like, he has like tons of boxes and different categories and for stuff.
And it's efficient for me. Yeah, I don't have to worry about anything. The only one I really need to control is my email. That
I
one's just
see.
so easy. It's just
Ooh, email.
email.
50 discount. 50% discount.
Bye. Kine. All right.
Do you want to say the whole sentence
No, I'm
and
okay.
get it over with?
No.
No?
Please
You sure now?
go
you
ahead
sure
and
now?
talk about your
Okay.
solutions. Kine, my.
I knew you were going to say that. You cannot. So that's good. Definitely, like you know, it's one of the way, like out of sight, out of mind, this kind of thing.
But do you have a personal solution that you use?
I do.
Oh, please share.
For me, like everything, you know, I'm going to be a nerd for a second here.
Just for a second?
Just for a second. I'll try. I believe human brain is a very powerful resources or tool or whatever you want to call it. Your brain is so brilliant and so powerful. And when I see people indulge themselves, spend 4 or 5 times just scrolling through their phones, I feel so pity about them because you can use your brain power to do so many things. So my solution would be, I wouldn't suggest you just delete whatever apps or Instagram or whatever. You first, you have to figure out what is your purpose of using those social medias.
Right.
You know, you should ask yourself that and just stick to it. Because I definitely know like someone using Instagram as their tools to promote whatever, like their brands or like they're starting a small business. You know, it's a really good tool. Like I said, social media is actually a very good tool if you can use it properly. They can help you a lot. It can help you shine. But if you're just using it to, I don't know, they always say, I'm relaxing. So I'm go through my phone. But, you know, actually it's not. So you have to really look at your behavior and be honest with yourself. Why am I doing this? If you're just doing it to do it, like you are addicted to it or look like those fancy things. Or,
you have a habit.
Yeah, and then just be honest. And if you want to change it, you tell yourself you wanted to, okay, I'm just going to use like 30 minutes for doing nothing, just scrolling.
Then do that.
Then do that. You set a timer, 30 minutes up, stop your whatever you're doing. Be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and
because you know lots of people who like watch these things for a long time, and you ask them like, hey, how long do you look at social media? And then how do they respond usually?
They were just like, I don't know, 2 hours? Really? Only 2 hours? Maybe 3.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
When they respond like that, but they also have this feeling of like
Guilt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my bad. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't really want to confess.
Yeah,
but I'm on my phone
know.
all the time.
Yeah, just to be, you know, be a smart user. Those apps, like social media, again, when they are beginning, those inventors, their intentions are good, but the businesses, they seeing this as a good opportunity, so they have like ads. Whenever you search one thing on Google, for example, like winter sweaters on your Google, and then the next 30 minutes when you're using your Instagram, there are some kind of closed door on sale for winter sweaters. Why? Because, you know,
The algorithm.
they have benefits from you. Of course, they're going to do that. So they are designed to make you addicted to it. Be aware of it. You know, be aware of it and just use it. Be a smart user. Don't just go to this, you know,
Just
vortex.
learn.
Yeah, just
learn what it does. What
Yeah.
is the function of it?
Yeah.
Understand that you are a cog in the major tool of Facebook and everything.
Yeah.
So it's now a market. So if you want to be able to, you know, control yourself, realize that you're being controlled by
Yeah.
it unless you find a way to stop. I think it's a very good ending.
I think, the always being aware of something, aware of what you're doing is enough because most of the people don't have awareness whatsoever. Once you have this first step, you will know what to do.
You had something you wanted to say at the end. What was that?
Go watch Social Dilemma on Netflix because they explain everything. Then you will know. Everything, like when something had bad influence, people would just say, just cut it off to your life. But
It's
if
not
you
that
just cut
easy.
it off, you're still there. You're just wondering why, you know. So first step is always to figure it out. Why is it bad? So that's a documentary, right? I think it's a
great documentary.
So good. Go watch it.
Yeah. And yeah, just also remember that once you want to cut out a bad habit, a new habit needs to replace it. That's just my word to the wise. I've learned it from many times of cutting habits out of my life, is that no matter what, if you're planning on cutting one out, prepare to add a new one. So make sure that one is constructive. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was a great talk, Anita.
Thank you so much, Eric.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
You're welcome.
All right. So, in that case, I think we're getting close to saying our final remarks. Is there anything that you would like to say as a final announcement to everybody or anything like that?
No.
You're good today?
Yeah.
Okay. I just like to shout out to all of our fans who are currently listening to our show. Thank you so much for being here for 30 episodes.
Wow.
It's a big moment for us.
Yeah.
And to think that we've only been doing this for 10 months and we already have 30 episodes. It's a fantastic feeling. We're very grateful for all of you listening.
Yeah.
Please make sure to check out our additional little episodes on www.buymeacoffee.com/Taiwanica. And also buy us a coffee. That would be great.
Yeah.
And also, just as another heads up, that we also have our posts that are really cool on Instagram, and that's a shout out to our IT Cassie. She's great.
She's great. She's so good.
Yeah, so amazing. So thank you so much, Cassie, for doing that.
We love you.
And so yeah, that's all my announcements. So how about you close us off, Anita?
So, be a smart user. Use your brain power wisely, and you can do it. Make the right choices for your life.
And there you have it. Thanks for listening to today's episode. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Thanks so much for tuning in to Taiwanica. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Thanks again for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode.